First, Donald Trump is being gagged and tortured, so let's watch it, you perverts, in our ongoing coverage of America's most tremendous...
It appears that Trump is unable to remain silent, even with a restraining order in place to prevent him from intimidating individuals involved in a legal case. Despite this order, he continues to speak out, and Judge Merchant is extremely angry about it. Trump's repeated violation of the gag order will result in severe consequences for him.
The day began with some fireworks. There were several heated exchanges between Trump's lawyers and the judge in the hearing about whether or not he definitely violated the judge's gag order.
On March 26th, Judge Merchant issued a gag order to restrain Trump from making public statements that were deemed threatening, inciting, or defamatory towards individuals involved in the case. This order encompassed potential witnesses, jurors, court staff, prosecutors, and lawyers. However, true to his nature, Trump couldn't resist the urge to insult others, even resorting to insulting their pets. Unsurprisingly, he repeatedly violated the order by posting on his social media platform, Truth Social, and expressing his views publicly. Prosecutor Chris Conroy capitalized on Trump's numerous posts, using 10 of them to argue that he should be held in contempt of court, although it's likely that there were far more than 10 posts. Let's not dwell on the specifics. On Tuesday, tensions escalated as prosecutors accused former President Donald Trump of willfully and flagrantly violating Judge Juan Merchant's gag order through his relentless attacks. A separate hearing was initiated due to the recent order, and it was quite intense. Trump's supporters claim that he is being extremely cautious on social media, only sharing content that does not violate the gag order and making an effort to remain calm. However, we can confidently say that this is a complete falsehood, and both we and the judge are aware of it. The judge did not believe Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, for even a moment when he argued on Tuesday that his client had been diligent in adhering to the order. In fact, the judge stated that Blanche has lost all credibility in the court.
Sean told Trump's lead attorney, a guy named Todd Blanche, that his arguments didn't make sense, that he'd presented nothing, and that he was losing all credibility with the court. To his credit, Blanche fired back. He said, "Your Honor, I lost all credibility when I agreed to represent Donald Trump. That is not an issue."
It's truly baffling how Trump's legal team manages to tolerate him. He seems to be constantly engaged in either slumber or flatulence. And when he's not doing those two things, he's busy mouthing off to anyone and everyone, often landing himself in even deeper trouble. During the court proceedings, Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, contended that his client had not intentionally violated the gag order. However, Merchant swiftly countered by pointing out that Trump would have had to deliberately manipulate the keyboard and hit the enter key in order to post any offensive content. This argument holds a lot of weight, unless Trump decides to use the excuse that a cat walked across his keyboard and composed the post on Truth Social. But let's avoid fabricating stories, as it would only give Trump more ideas in the future. Blanche argued that Trump should be allowed to express his general views on politics, law, and the legal process. However, that entire argument quickly lost credibility when Trump proceeded to commit an action that undeniably violated the gag order. I don't think anyone has any doubts about that.
Why Trump hasn't already been punished for violating the gag order, I don't know. I'm sure he's driving his lawyers nuts. 20 minutes after his lawyer told the judge, President Trump is being very careful to comply with your order, Trump very carefully posted this highly conflicted, to put it mildly. By the way, you can't put it mildly when you're using all caps. It's impossible.
Immediately following his trial, where he faced accusations of disrespecting the court, Trump wasted no time in causing controversy. Rather than reflecting on his actions, he quickly took to Truth Social to label the trial as a kangaroo court. This speaks volumes about his attitude. Immediately following his trial, where he faced accusations of disrespecting the court, Trump wasted no time in causing controversy. Rather than reflecting on his actions, he quickly took to Truth Social to label the trial as a kangaroo court. This speaks volumes about his attitude, as it seems there is nothing that can deter him from posting offensive content. Prosecutor Conroy, however, has made it clear that he does not seek to imprison Trump for contempt. It is clear that no one has the courage to incarcerate a former president during a campaign and elections.
Trump might have to pay up to $1,000 per violation.
Yeah, $1,000, that's not gonna stop Trump from talking, okay? You gotta deal with this like any other tantrum. You gotta give Trump an iPad with Coco Melon on it and let him zone out.
The entire situation seems utterly absurd. Despite being issued a gag order, Trump continuously disregards it, violating it repeatedly and promptly after it is imposed by the court. Even if he is eventually required to pay fines, it will likely have minimal impact. Insulting others is certainly a component, but his primary objective is to create as much trouble as possible for the judge. His intention is to provoke additional gag hearings, prolonging this chaotic situation and wasting everyone's time for an extended period.
Order hearing, Donald Trump made a jerk-off motion, so they needed a gag order hearing to see if that violated the gag order before they could get back to the first gag order.
But then after that, it's all set.
No, because during that gag order hearing, the judge heard Trump saying, "I'm Judge Pee-Pee Head."
The main objective is to delay the legal proceedings until after the elections. Trump is depending on winning another term as president, as he believes that if he is reelected, he will be protected from prosecution and can avoid facing the accusations. This cunning strategy can be summarized as his wicked plan.
The actual case.
Yes, but no. Because during that hearing, Trump made another jerk-off motion, but then he said it wasn't a jerk-off motion, so they need a quick hearing to determine how he jerks off. Then a hearing about whether he made the jerk-off motion, then Judge Pee-Pee Head, then the first jerk-off hearing, then the gag order.
And then the actual case.
What case?
The hush.
The gag order is not the sole source of inconvenience for Trump. His supporters argue that he faces extensive hardships in court, where he is treated as the most notorious criminal. Trump has openly expressed his distress over the chilly courtroom environment and his inability to cope with it. Moreover, he now laments about additional grievances, claiming to be treated more harshly than even the most heinous offenders, solely because he is unable to enjoy a game of golf. This absurdity defies description and merits personal observation.
For evil. So they've taken away his freedom of speech, and now they've taken away his freedom of movement. I mean, they had more allowances for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed exercise. He's usually golfing. And so you're going to put a man who's almost 80 sitting in a room like this on his butt for all that time? It's not healthy.
It seems that Trump, typically an active and vibrant individual, is now confined to the courtroom, unable to engage in his usual activities like playing golf or conducting his regular affairs. This sudden change has disrupted his routine, akin to leaving a race car unused in a garage for an extended period. Spending the entire day in court without the opportunity for a golf outing is adversely affecting his appearance and demeanor. He appears restless, similar to a restless puppy in need of a walk to prevent him from becoming unruly.
You know how Donald Trump loves exercise. Because of this trial, he's been morbidly obese for the last 40 years.
Yeah. I mean, though, would Trump even want fresh air and exercise? These actually sound like the punishments the judge would give Trump if he's convicted.
Yeah, I know, he's like, fresh air and exercise, just give me the death penalty.
It is quite absurd how Trump's followers are making a big fuss about him spending his entire day in court. They claim that it is unsafe for him because his location is known to the public. Honestly, this is the same person who takes pleasure in provoking his supporters and encouraging them to create havoc outside the courthouse. He practically invites trouble upon himself. Additionally, let's not overlook the fact that Trump himself enjoys publicly discussing the whereabouts of witnesses and judges, dropping hints that someone should go and visit them. Therefore, the whole argument about Trump's safety simply does not make sense. However, there are further aspects to consider.
Yes, it's very dangerous for people to know Trump's exact location, which is why he lives in a nondescript building with his name on the front.
The Trump campaign also tells us where he's going to be and exactly when. They're called Trump rallies, and it's how I know where to go to get yelled.
Fox News, known for its unwavering support of Trump, excels at crafting outlandish narratives about this trial. They persistently assert that Trump is enduring mistreatment, torture, and an agonizing ordeal within the courtroom. The absurdity of their claims is truly remarkable. Witness it firsthand. Trump's legal team contends that the judge is relentlessly targeting him, as if he is always in the line of fire. They allege that the judge desires to imprison him for even the most trivial infractions, whether it be a momentary lapse of attention or an accidental bodily function. In their eyes, the judge is determined to incarcerate him for every conceivable reason.
I consider myself to be a proud American, but after sitting in that dirty, disgusting criminal courtroom today, watching the former president of the United States being persecuted like a criminal, I don't know if I'm so proud to be an American anymore.
The judge is ridiculous. The conflict of interest is ridiculous. This whole case is ridiculous.
These are the types of
election year shenanigans that happen in other countries, in third world autocracies.
Trump's not even allowed to complain about the thermostat. It's a meat locker in there. He gets mocked for just closing his eyes.
The way they're portraying the judge is as someone who is excessively sensitive. However, let's be real, attempting to intimidate witnesses and disrupt the court doesn't seem like a minor offense to us. But hey, what do we really understand?
President of the United States, if he leaves court to go to the restroom, jail. If he calls the prosecutor corrupt, jail. If Trump moves or says anything, they scream jail.
There has been ongoing speculation about whether or not President Donald Trump will face legal consequences for his actions while in office. Some believe that his behavior, including potential instances of obstruction of justice and abuse of power, could lead to charges being brought against him. Others argue that he is protected by his position and that any attempts to hold him accountable would be politically motivated. Regardless of where you stand on this issue, it is clear that the American people are deeply divided over Trump's presidency. Some see him as a champion of the working class, while others view him as a dangerous demagogue who is undermining democracy. The ongoing investigations into his campaign's alleged collusion with Russia have only added to the controversy surrounding his administration. As we await the outcome of these investigations, it is important to remember that our democracy is built on the rule of law. No one is above the law, and everyone must be held accountable for their actions. Whether or not Trump will ultimately end up behind bars is anyone's guess, but one thing is certain: the American people deserve to know the truth about what has happened and who is responsible. So let us continue to demand transparency and accountability from our leaders, and let us never forget that the power of the people is greater than any individual or political party.
We'll be right back.